Yeah, old school. That's what I'm talking about. Listen, this ain't for everybody. Some of y'all need to hear this. I know you're in the trenches fighting, but check it out. I'm gonna put it down like this so I can help you things understand. Everything you're going through is all part of the master plan. Or what? You thought cause you got saved everything was gonna be peaches and cream? You better wake up, son. Don't nothing come to a sleeper but a dream. Faith without works is dead. Read your Bible, you know what it said. He who don't work don't eat. Blackers don't get fed. Yeah, Jesus said he who puts his hand to the plow looks back the same ain't fit. Some of y'all ain't been in the trenches 5 minutes and you about ready to quit. I ain't mad at ya, I'm just hitting you with the real. If you died for me and I was still tripping, now how you think that make you feel? Check this out, deep game, this here's deep. Some of y'all ain't sowing nothing but you started trying to reach. But unto him who is able to possess your fathers by his glory. Struggles might be part of your testimony, but it ain't the end of the story. Now the point is this was prophesied way back in the day. Choir, sing the hook right here and see if the church can relate.
I know we can make it. I know good and well. God can work it out. Work it out. Work it out. Yeah, he'll work it out. I know we can make it. We can make it. I know good and well. God can work it out. Yes, he can. Yes, he can. Yes, he can. Yeah.
Thinking not strange, the fiery trials wanted to try you. You say, why you? But your church say, what would Jesus do? Why you asking if he ain't trying to do what he's saying? He told you he was going to have tribulations, but you thought he was playing. 1 minute you're telling how good God is and can't nobody beat your talk. The next minute you're backsliding so fast, it's like you're moonwalking. Oh yeah, I'm preaching to myself because I ain't no better. It ain't like I've been following his every word, obeying it to the letter. But we soldiers, we got to remember that. Regroup, stay on point. Yeah, bow down, confess, repent, stay humble, let him anoint. It ain't easy as I thought it was. I'd be lying if I told you that. But it's showing up getting better all the time. Trust me, that's the fact. Ain't nothing we going through that can't be handled. God put that on his tongue. Like they say, you can shout now if you want to, cause the battle's already won. So while you're going through the valley, don't even trip. You're gonna be on top. Choir, sing the hook line one more again. This time you don't stop.
I know we can make it. We can make it. I know good and well. God can work it out. Yes, he can. Yes, he can. He'll work it out. We can make it. I know we can make it. I know good and well. Oh yeah, yeah. Yes, he can. If you let him, I know good and well. He can work it out. Work it out. Work it out. Work it out.
Though you may not drive a great big Cadillac, got the white wall, TV antennas in the back.
You know, man, golly, I'm fucked up.
You may not have a car at all, but remember, brothers and sisters, you can still stand tall. Just be thankful for what you got. Though you may not drive a great big Cadillac, diamond in the back, sun top, digging the scene with a gangster lean, gangster white wall, TV antennas in the back. You may not have.
Hello? Just want to send that one out there. That'd be thankful little joint out there, because even though we're going through some crazy stuff right now, we need to really, really be appreciative for what we do have, because it could be a whole lot worse. But let me see as our guest with us today. Rawle, you in the building?
How's it going? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. I can hear you loud and clear. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes. How's it going? How's it going?
I mean, I really can't complain, you know what I mean? But, nobody want to hear that anyway. But there's so much crazy stuff going on out there right now in this world, man. So, I like that little joint was just playing. Just be thankful, man. We got to be thankful for what we do have,
Yeah, absolutely. For sure.
Yeah, well, Rawle, you're all the way from Canada, and I understand you're originally from Guyana, and you're hanging out in Canada doing great things with your music and stuff, man. So I always like to start off the show with giving you the platform and letting you tell, I guess, a little something about you. But my question is, when did you get hit with this music bug, man?
Probably, I think it became clear to me that I love music at the age of like 8 or 9. I definitely get it from my father because he was a singer. He used to play music 7 days a week, especially on Sundays. It was always a mood for an occasion when it came to if we were cleaning or we were going to church or we were partying. It was always a different vibe with the music. So I grew up with a lot of different culture, but especially the Caribbean culture. Like as you said, I'm from Guyana, which is in South America, and but very Caribbean rooted. So yeah, I think 8 to 9 would be when I first really wanted to like spend the rest of my life singing.
Oh, that's fantastic. What's Ghana like? Do they have any music programs there? I mean, do you listen to a lot of American music there, or where did you get that from?
Where in Canada?
Yes. Well, actually, coming out of Guyana.
Oh, Guyana, yeah. I left Guyana actually when I was really young. I left there when I was about 3.
Okay.
However, I did go back around the age of 9. But the music there, I wouldn't say it's so American. It's more soca and calypso and reggae and dancehall. And you have we have like in Guyana, there's a big East Indian presence. Like my family, I'm mixed with East Indian. My great-great-grandfather was from India, so there's a lot of that culture as well, and a lot of that kind of music as well. So it's diverse in a sense. But I wouldn't say, even going back, the last time I was there was like 2010, and not so much Americanized. I think it's a lot more Caribbeanized. But people definitely do listen to a lot of American music. America is the center for a lot of creativity and like some of the best music in the world, right? So.
Yeah, I definitely like the Caribbean music, man. I definitely like the beats and stuff, man. So Rawle, how would you categorize your music?
I would say my music is. I like that a world sound. I think it's a mixture of pop and R&B, mostly R&B and soul, because I grew up listening to a lot of soul music, a lot of the oldies, a lot of old R&B, a lot of old, and I really look up to artists like Michael Jackson and Luther Vandross and of course Whitney and Mariah and even more to my generation, Chris Brown and Trey Songz, and you got a lot of those like singers that just have soul or like that extra oomph in their music. So I would say my music, I strive to just make it a world sound, like Michael. Because when I listen to Michael, his music transcends borders. Anybody can listen to it, and that's the type of music that I try to make.
True. Do you have any formal music training?
Yeah. So when I was in high school, actually before high school, I started playing instruments. I started playing the baritone and the trombone, so a lot of bass. And when I got into high school, I was actually in my first year in grade 9. They had a vocal program and a music program, but it only started in grade 10. And then somebody had kind of heard me sing and went to the music teacher, and they did all this running around after me, and they got me into the grade 10 program my first year. And I learned, we did a lot of singing, but I learned musical theory as well, how to read notes. And I kind of learned a little bit of that even before playing instruments and stuff like that. So, and I did a lot of classical training as well with different teachers and stuff. I stopped for there was a period of time where I stopped that training, so I'm a little rusty on it, but I definitely have that background.
Oh, that's not bad at all, man, because I quit this business every day. The only problem is I start back. Only problem is I start back up the next day.
yeah, that's how it goes, right?
No, that's definitely how it goes. Well, tell me, man. First of all, I want to ask you, how important is social networking to you in this music business?
It's very important. I think, especially where we are today, especially during the fact that we have to be socially distant. I think it's very important to network with your peers, anybody that's trying to do music. I remember, I didn't always have the greatest confidence in the world, even though I portrayed that I did. But I remember, when I was starting out, it would have been great to have more people to connect with. I feel like pre this whole pandemic thing, that kind of was lost, and now I kind of see people getting together and networking and stuff. But I feel like for the longevity of music and just continuing on and for people to be able to be more creative, I feel like networking is powerful, whether that's the artists networking with each other or with the bloggers or the radio people or the music reviewers or music lovers. It's just important. Even fans, it's just important to network and as social as you can.
Right. No, I just wanted to ask you that because, there was a time it wasn't such we didn't have the internet and, you wasn't able to really reach the masses with your music as you are today. And then the other thing is I felt since the advent of the internet, a lot of really great artists kind of fall through the crack if they're not, really computer savvy, you know what I mean? Because I don't know, that's true. And then, the artists that, they, have some funding, they have some money where they could really afford to, have a team to handle all their social networking, and versus another artist, they got all the skills, you know what I mean, in terms of being an artist, a singer, songwriter, producer, so on and so forth, but, he's not very computer literate, and to me sometimes I think that's kind of a disadvantage, you know what I mean, because a lot of those artists seem like it take a little bit longer to be heard.
Yeah, I would say it's definitely a disadvantage because I fall into that category where I'm very, I know how to my way around a computer. It's just that when you have somebody with a lot of money, and they're able to go ahead and pay for people to do the things for them, which to me, in my opinion, is great, but it's also kind of fake because you're not really up to close knowing who's listening to your music and interacting with them, which nowadays is really important. But I feel like with myself, I kind of chose based on some advice, a really good advice I got, to remain independent for now and be independent. And it's harder because I don't have a major budget, but I do what I can. And it's not as easy to compete when you don't have the money because nowadays people don't even, sometimes it's like in the music industry, they don't even care if you're good or not. They just want your money and then they're going to do work for you. You know what I mean? It's like they don't, so it's like they don't, unless you're speaking money, and then sometimes it's like you pay, you don't even get the results you want. People don't really do what they say they're going to do for you. And there's so many people coming at you. Like right now, with this record that I just released, I have so many people coming at me, and some of it has been good, and others have just been big time wasters, and people just looking for me to pay them for something that I don't even know if it's going to work. So
unfortunately, man, as an artist, we've all went through that at one time or another, and I've had some old, very successful seasoned artists told me basically that's part of paying your dues, because as you're coming up and navigating your way, through this, of course, you're going to run into those knuckleheads that's, selfish, that's really out there for self and don't have you as an artist, your best interest at heart. And, that's all around the board, because we've had managers, even myself personally as a group, we've had, managers and attorneys that's been ripped us off. You know what I mean? So,
Yep.
it's just kind of like a process you have to go through, like almost going through the jungle. You got to look out for the wolves, and the bears and stuff. And the music is kind of like the same thing. Not everybody's not good, but everybody's not bad either. And then, you kind of learn your way around and get to meeting different people along the way, and that's how you really compile your team. At least that's my take on it. That's how you get your team, because as you're growing, you're learning who to talk to, who not to talk to, who to deal with, and you learn all of that. You know what I mean?
And on that note, I just really want to shout out Camille Moore and Joel St. John. When you say team, it's true. It's like originally I wasn't even going to continue on as the artist. I actually was going to take a background role based on my experience and my training, but those two individuals have kind of stuck by me, and they became my team. Actually, Camille, I'm giving her a shout out because she was one of the people like, we're your team. We do very well at this, and we're gonna do it together. And it just kind of comes together as you continue on your grind. You just gotta keep going. So I definitely can relate to what you just said. That's true.
No, it's so real. It's so real. So real. What are some of the other things that you've gone through, man? I mean, I know you've dealt with some knuckleheads, but
man, certain things, I won't speak too much about, but because this business can get tricky. I think a lot of the old ways of the music industry are dying, if not dead already. But I'll quickly touch on the young lady that's on my record, Melanie Amaro. Super, one of my favorite vocalists, definitely top 5, super talented. And before this record came about, I actually wrote this record while me and her were both going through some stuff. We were just friends. We met. I actually met her for the first time in Jamaica. We were on tour with Mindless Behavior and one of our good friends, Dustin Michael from B5, the old B5 that was signed to Bad Boy back in the day. We were on tour, and one of the cities we went to was Jamaica. And so me and Melanie actually ran into each other there, and we all just clicked. It was like instant. And just even that situation, we almost got trapped in Jamaica because people weren't getting paid and passports were being held, and it was just, you'd think we were on this big tour and these things weren't being handled, and the people that suffered were the artists, and at the time Melanie was hosting it. But even more to that, she had won this big show, and she had signed the Epic under L.A. Reid, and I can't really speak too much to it. That's a story that she's gonna have to come out with one day. But as far as that goes, that was a roller coaster for me because what happened was, long story short, obviously we know nothing came about after that whole X Factor thing, but I ended up managing her because we were just on the phone one day talking, and I was in Toronto and she was in LA, and there was some stuff going on with her, and I was just like, look, I can help you out. We could do this, because I had been trained under Chase Parsons at Chris Smith Management. Chris Smith was Nelly Furtado's manager, so I had a lot of managerial experience as well. So we kind of agreed that we were going to go forward, and I was going to take on that role. And man, it was like I had to deal with CEOs of companies, and at the time we were both really, really young, and people were dragging me through this. I didn't know much about the snaky part of the business. I just thought that, hey, we're all doing business, we're great talent, but people were trying to steal Melanie from under my management. People were trying to tear us apart, and at one point they almost succeeded doing that. We had brought on people to help as part of management and promotion. We were trying to build a team. She had left LA and we had moved to Atlanta, and there was just a lot of shady things, underhanded things that were going on. Deals were happening behind my back, meetings were happening. It was just a lot of stuff. And then, when you have a friendship, it's really hard to do business if you don't know how to separate the two. And we had a really close friendship. You know, we were really, really close. So it was just hard. Like when we came down to business, it kind of got a little bit tense because, you know, it's like your friend's talking to you, but your manager's talking to you. And then it's like, it was just a lot. So I definitely, one thing I've learned is that, like, you really can't take people's word for things. You have to always protect yourself with paperwork. Something that I never did at first. Back in the day, I just was like, people were like, yeah, we're going to do this for you. And then next thing you know, they're sabotaging you behind your back. I'll give you one quick example.
Rawle, let me give you another little piece of advice, too. You know, paperwork is good, but I also found out, man, if the man's no good, the paperwork isn't either. The paperwork will give you the ability to get in court, but that's about it.
True. For that, that's actually
if the people aren't no good, dude. I mean, it's great because I've had that experience as well, and I'm sure if you haven't, you will. Even though you got the paperwork, if the man ain't no good, the paperwork ain't no good, bro.
That is actually true. You know what? And I actually learned that as well, which was a tough lesson as well. So it's just a tricky business. You just really have to look out for yourself and make sure that you double check everything, really.
Yes.
Before you do anything.
Well, man, you mentioned the song with Melanie Amaro, so we got that song queued up, Broken Love. You want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, you know what?
Come on, man, you can give us the gritty. You can give us that.
You know, it's interesting because that song has such a story behind it. It's crazy. I was living in this basement apartment at the time, and I started writing it. Me and Melanie got off the phone. She would express some things to me, and based on that conversation, I was inspired to start writing the song because I was also going through something as well. And then I wrote the first verse, the exact same, like everything's the same, the lyrics are all the same. And I wrote the first verse and the hook, and I demoed it, which was at the time horrible because I actually wasn't singing, so I wasn't up keeping with my voice. And she goes to me, "This is too sad." She's like, "I'm not singing. This is too sad." So I actually almost scrapped the song. I was not gonna do it. We ended up in New York with Chanel Red Irvin, who's one of my mentors, like 5 or 6 time Grammy nominated writer. She mentored me, and they were just like, and D Moet, who did Nas's Illmatic, the producer did a Nas's album Illmatic. They were like, this is an amazing record. You need. So that's how I ended up finishing it, and we recorded it. We started recording it in Atlanta, and so it's basically about just, your love being broken. And your love could be anything. At the time, it's not really relationship based, but it can translate into that. It's just about, if you're going through something, and your love could be broken, but you can overcome it, and you basically don't need to. You can overcome anything, basically. That's what the song is really about. I don't want to be a fool anymore, because I think a lot of the times we don't realize that our emotions make us foolish. And someone like me, I'm a fire sign, so I had to learn that I can't react all the time, and I can't allow my emotions to cloud my judgment. So I don't want to be a fool anymore, and just basically move on and get stronger. So that's the song's ultimate message, but it can translate into anything.
That sounds great. I'm a water sign. I guess that's why I'm just too cool all the time. But everybody, you know the drill. Let the windows down, turn the air conditioner up, put your ears on this. This is Broken Love featuring Melanie Amaro. Dang, Rawle, you got it. Here it is.
Oftentimes I find myself broke down, crying, waiting for someone else. And lately I've been far too sad, struggling, searching for where you fit in. I don't wanna be a fool anymore. Leave where you fit in.
I don't wanna be a fool anymore. Leave myself open to just get broken. I don't wanna lose myself in your world. There's something missing, but is it worth fighting for? My love is broken. My love is broken.
One thing's for sure, I'm wiping these tears. No more sitting down, no more waiting around. I'm gonna do me, you gotta do you.
Baby, I'll be moving on.
Be a fool anymore. Leave myself open
To just get broken. I don't wanna lose myself in your world. There's something missing, but is it worth fighting for? My love is broken. My love is broken.
Yes. I can definitely understand that one. But it didn't sound like too sad. It didn't sound sad.
Yeah, no. She just didn't. You know what it is? It's like, when people going through stuff, sometimes they don't want to face it. I think it was just that kind of situation because she actually, when she did her part, she did it in one take. That's the first take and the only take she ever did. So
Oh, wow.
she cried a little bit through that. So it was
I know. I was hearing the intensity in her voice. It sounded like that she was definitely feeling that one.
yeah.
Yeah, it definitely probably took her somewhere. So Rawle, what is some inspiration? Do you usually write your songs from personal situations?
Yeah, you know what? I definitely have. Look, I'm working on an album right now, and a lot of the songs are from personal situations. I like to write about any situation that kind of touches me, or if I need to write about, maybe it's another person's situation. I like to just capture the moment. You know what I mean? Because I feel like sometimes I take life serious in a sense where it's like, there's a lot of meanings and moments, and I find that to be really great for music, and especially growing up, well, my favorite music era would be the 90s by far, and then, of course, some of the 80s and whatever, but the 90s, for me, I felt like every damn song that was done by anybody during that period, whether it was R&B or pop, the music was a moment. So that's kind of what inspires me to write now. It's like I look at, the situation. I'm like, is there a moment here that I can make into a song? That's kind of my process, how I started.
Yeah, that makes sense. A lot of times, man, you just be sitting around or driving around or even having a conversation with somebody. At least I do. And they say something. I'm like, oh, that seemed like a good title for a song.
Yeah. Exactly.
And then it goes from there.
Right.
I know you mentioned earlier in the show Michael Jackson was one of your favorite artists. Who else out there?
Let's see. You know what? Definitely, I followed Chris Brown's career pretty much because we're technically the same age. I think his birthday like 3 weeks after mine, but I would say I followed him like a lot more in the beginning, in the middle and stuff, and even after his little, his issues that he went through. But Nowadays, not so much because I feel like, so there's him and definitely Whitney, definitely Mariah, Luther Vandross. Now, I must say this because I think it's important to say. So the very first song that I heard that I knew, there's a song that kind of like sent me into third gear with music, and that was The World's Greatest by R. Kelly. Now, I don't condone him or his actions as a man, but I definitely have to say that his music and that song gave me a lot of courage. So I
can't take it away from can't take it away from R. Kelly though, as an artist.
People get offended these days. You know what I mean? Like I really think what he did was disgusting, and it hurt to know that that's somebody that inspired me, because it's like, you know, it's you know, he made a mistake that was way too drastic for something that you know. But I definitely, the music, man, it's just like, especially that song, The World's Greatest. That was so there was that. And sometimes when I think about saying it, and then I feel I beat myself up inside, because I'm like, it's a truth, you know what I mean? So it's like, do I hold that back, or do I just make a note when people ask me like who inspired me? It's still a big part of why and who I became as far as the music is concerned. So, and then I would say Adele. I really like Adele's music. I like Sam Smith's music. I like I'm forgetting some Prince. Oh man, Prince is really great. And John Legend is like one of my big influences today as well. And I think that's about it. I really like Jeremiah. Oh, and August Alsina. Shout out to August Alsina, man. Like, not none of the other stuff, the entanglements and stuff, but just more so like his vibe. And his vibe is definitely something I'm feeling a lot. Like, I support his music a lot, and I listen to his music a lot. And in fact, some of the songs I put out recently, I have one called "Let You Know" that's kind of inspired a little bit from his music, but I'm looking to do a little bit more of that style of music too in the future. Hopefully collab with August one day, but that's I guess that's the list.
Yeah, but nothing wrong with having one. If you can go out and do some collabs right now, who would it be? Some of the same people you just mentioned, or somebody else?
Yep. My first collab my first major collab has to be with Rihanna, if she ever decides she wants to drop anything again. My fellow Caribbeanite. Definitely love Rihanna. I would love to collab with J. Cole and The Weeknd, who's also Canadian. I'd like to collab with. I guess the list isn't as long as I thought. Meek Mill, one of my favorite rappers. I guess that's energized.
That's definitely a healthy choice. My grandson works with J. Cole, so he's always on the road doing something. But
yeah, man, he's a leader. Like, that guy, he's a good, strong black role model in hip hop, and he's always been that. And he never. What I like about J. Cole is that, you know, he doesn't conform and he doesn't compromise. And I never seen him do it. Whereas we kind of see other people do it. And even me, I think, you know, I kind of felt insecure about my music for the reason of the fact that I thought I had to do a lot of music, like that watered down, like, just garbage music that I hear nowadays. Is like, it's very watered down, or it's all the same thing, sex, drugs, money, whatever. And you know, I felt like I had to sound a certain way, you know. And it's like, I knew that I had bigger music in me. To me, no disrespect to anybody that wants to make that music, but I just didn't feel. I felt compelled that, like, that was the only way I was gonna have my voice heard. So then I felt like maybe I have to do that kind of music, and it just didn't. The music wasn't coming out as authentic, you know. And so one thing I really respect about J. Cole is that he just told it like it is. He's just a role model. So that inspired me to realize, like, you know what, I could do me the same way he does him in hip hop. I could do me. So yeah.
it's definitely a fine line, you know, because I understand, you know, in this business, either you could sound too much like somebody or not enough like somebody, you know, and both of those are bad. And then the other decision is, are you doing music for the love of you, or are you doing music because you want to eat?
Right.
You know, and I think that's what you were just speaking to a moment ago, and trying to find that spot, you know, depending on your situation, kind of dictate what you're going to do. Because I know a lot of artist friends now, you know, like, well, you know, I'm just going to be true to myself, you know, I'm not going to conform like you mentioned. But those guys are hungry, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so it's still it's about finding that line, that spot, you know.
Someone once said to me, they said, Rawle, you'll begin to start to make it when you're ready to starve for this. Like when you're ready to go without food and be hungry and just. And at first I didn't understand that because I'm like, well, damn, I want to make money. But you're right. It's a fine line. It's like, yes, I want to eat, but I feel like, you know, what can I live without? And it's like, if I can't live without my music, if it's, you know what I mean, what am I doing it for? Because I'm a pretty well-rounded guy. I can make money a lot of ways. I have. So it's like, it's not a problem of, so it's like, it's not the money I'm after, even though, yes, eventually I need my dream to be fulfilled. And like, I want to do what I love and I want it to pay me. That's my goal. So, but it's like, I will starve for this if I have to, because it's what I love.
Right. And I guess at the end of the day, that's what makes a true artist, whether you in the entertainment business or whether you are a painter, you know, because look how many famous painters, artists out there that actually starved, you know, and unfortunately, you know, before they became successful, super successful, they wasn't living no more. But I don't know if that's a good example. But anyway, Rawle, listen. We got your joint, Let You Know, queued up, man. So we gonna let everybody put their ears on that.
All right, let it rock.
All right, you guys know the drill. This is Rawle, and this is Let You Know. Let the windows down, turn your air conditioner up, and put your ears on this.
Hear me out. 2 minutes. Excuse me, what's your name? Your man's left you on your own. So do what you want, you're grown. Baby, put your number in my phone so I can get to know ya. Let me call you later. I'm better than the rest. Wait a minute. I'ma keep it real. Just be to let you know. When I get you home, we gon' do some freaky things. I don't wanna be alone. You on me, and me on you. Listen. Tell me what you want. Tell me what you need. 'Cause I'm fucking you tonight. I ain't tryna be rude. I just like everything that you do. Like the way that you look. Don't blame me, baby. I'm just a man trying to find my way. You feel like my destination. I ain't playing. Don't wanna be a player no more. I'ma keep it real. Just be to let you know. When I get you home, we gon' do some freaky things. I don't wanna be alone. You on me, and me on you. Listen. Tell me what you want. Tell me what you need. 'Cause I'm fucking you tonight. And into me. You've been trying to see. So I'ma let you see. I'm giving you the 333. I know you're into me. You've been trying to see. So I'ma let you see. I'm giving you the 333. Just been to let you know. When I get you home, we gon' do some freaky things. I don't wanna be alone. You on me on you. Listen. Tell me what you want. Tell me what you need.
independent, but a minute. A feeling fine all the time. On my pride, I am indeed. Alicia Rain at the wave.
Yeah, we back today with our guest Rawle in the building, chopping it up with us, letting us know what's going on with his career, man. Definitely feeling your music, man. So I know you got big things in store for you. So what's next for you out there?
Oh man, thank you. I really appreciate it. Right now, it's just so I actually walked away from a label offer a couple of years ago, and so right now what we're doing is we're just trying to build a team, a strong, solid team of my own, just doing it independently. We're working on my album, my first album release, and we're actually trying to figure out as far as like what other singles we want to queue up, and then just basically just keep grinding and promoting. Soon, hopefully, back to being able to go on stage. I really like to get out there and tour, and I'm looking to collab with some other big features, but mostly I'll probably put out another record solo first. But yeah, that's just about it. Just growing the team, working on this album, which it's not going to be lengthy. It'll probably be about 6 or 7 songs, but I'm trying to really just make sure that it's right for everybody and everybody has something to listen to on there, while still being me, not having to like change up too much or do put any music on there that isn't me. So we're just figuring that out right now.
Hey, you're not going to compromise, huh?
Yeah.
You're not going to conform.
No.
Well, it's hard. It's just really hard to be an artist and wear that business hat as well, and I think really, really true artists, they fight with that, man, because so much time goes into you perfecting your craft, and then when you got to, put on that other hat and put on those long boots, so you don't step on those snakes in the grass. You know what I mean? It's it become overwhelming, at some point.
Yeah, I think it's like every other 10 minutes it feels overwhelming because it's interesting because I never thought I was gonna go forward and actually pursue a music career. At a young age, I had was broken by a family member. Like, oh, your father didn't make it. What makes you think he'll make it? Some things that they had said to me that kind of really hurt me, and I internalized that. So what I did was I actually was like, well, if I'm not gonna pursue music, I'm gonna just be as close. So I did the management thing for a while. I actually wore a lot of hats. I did development and stuff like that. So now that I'm doing it for myself, it was weird. It's easy to do something for somebody else, but it's challenging to do it for yourself, especially when it comes to business and music and stuff like that. So every couple of minutes, I'm sitting here. I'm falling in love with the process because it's just giving me a different perspective that I didn't have doing it for other people. It's allowing me to appreciate how hard I actually do have to work. It's allowing me to grow as an individual because it comes down to like, am I worth it or not? And then it allows me to tell myself like, look, like you deserve this, and that's really good for self-care, self-love. And I think right now, especially with everything that's going on with Black people in general, and me being a Black male in society, it's strengthening me in ways I didn't really expect. So I appreciate the hardship of it because it is really, really hard. Like, there's a lot of work that people don't even realize. And I made a post about it the other day. I was like, it's not about just going to the studio and putting out music. Like, there's most of the work that goes into this is never ever seen, and it's like 90% of the battle. So
exactly.
Yeah.
When I was management, I had somewhat of a different take, though, man. Management, I could always go to the cleaners for myself or go put gas in my car or do things I need to do for myself. That was a no-brainer. But when I started managing artists, and I managed several high-profile artists, it was almost like babysitting, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was almost like babysitting. And and that's the part that got me. Just being just being a glorified babysitter. I mean, some of them are super talented, but when it comes to the common sense department, it was kind of lacking. Maybe I shouldn't say that, but it's true.
No, I'm so glad you brought that up because look, I think that's why it's different for me because like I took that experience serious. So like you're absolutely right. That like I had to be a counselor. I had to be a motivator. I had to go destroy relationships that was messing up business. Like it was like, you know,
all that.
And
especially managing female artists, dude, because it seems like every dude they get with, all of a sudden they want to become the manager and they want to start questioning you about stuff that they don't have no spot in. You know what I mean? So yeah, I get it.
It was a lot. It was a whole like soap opera, man. It was a lot.
Yeah.
It was a lot. Yeah.
Become a glorified babysitter, man. And I'm like, wait a minute, this is not nowhere in my job description right here, this part, you know?
Right. And it's funny because now I don't even entertain any of that stuff. It's like with myself, I'm so strict. And it's funny because I fall out with people because they just look at me like I'm dismissive or like I don't got time and I think my experience doing babysitting people and being in their drama, I don't want that because I know that's the fastest and number one way sometimes why artists don't make it. It's that all that other stuff going on in the background.
Exactly. It's all that other stuff, you know. They go get the neighborhood guy to work at a gas station and want to second guess you. And you're in the business. But they want to get somebody else's opinion that's not even in the business. And that, boy, drives me up a wall.
Right.
Rawle, we got another song for you, man. I want to get that in, boy, because it look like time be flying when you're having fun. But I want to get your other song in right quick so our listeners definitely can put their ears on it, man, because I'm enjoying your music, and I know they are out there, too. You know, and I can't wait to hear your whole album. I know it's going to be the bomb. So what is this one? Is it alone or one-on-one alone? What's the title?
It's alone. It's alone. This one is a relationship. This one is personal, serious relationship I had way back. But this is the outcome of that relationship. And you know, sometimes it's like after you finish a relationship with this, and then you try to move on, and you realize that, like, damn, you can't, like, it's like, or you still thinking about the other person, and you're moving on to a different situation. And the love was real, but it was too toxic. It was too toxic. Just like, you know, August's entanglement. It's just that two. I definitely found myself in those kinds of situations. I think a lot of people have. But so it's like this song came as a result of me realizing that, you know, I was done with this situation, but now I feel alone, and even though I'm in this next situation, or trying to be in this next situation. So
that's sad, but so true, because everybody's so different, man. And we as men sometimes, man, we get stuck in one model, you know. And what I mean by that is we look for the same type of females and end up being, you know, they have the look that we have, you know, but we forget some of them just have different names, but the issues we get are similar. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. All the issues are similar. That's the truth.
All the issues are similar. They just got different names, you know, so we have to really self-check ourselves a lot of times.
Different name and different faces. That's the truth.
Yeah. Well, everybody, like I always say, let the windows down, turn the air conditioner up, put your ears on this. This is Rawle, Alone.
This is for you, baby.
I just stopped by to say I love you. Stop by to say I need you, but baby you ain't no good for me, and I'm not too far away that's when my heart used to be. Crazy in these streets, cause you left me to bleed. Now there's Henny in my veins, this kush got me free. No cares, I'm fearless, and I am all alone. Standing on my own, cause you don't love me. And I am all alone. And I am all alone. Cause I don't have no bank, no one to hold my hand. And I am all alone. You can't take all the blame. I'm man enough to say I had my part to play. And now we're lost, we can't get us back. That's my broken love. I'm just trying to see the light, lost in outer space. The moon from the stars, I just can't see the light. Everything's pitch black, and ain't no oxygen. Can a nurse breathe? So I can sing the song to bring me back to life. Now there's Henny in my veins, this kush got me free. No cares, I'm fearless, and I am all standing on my own, cause you don't love me. And I am all alone. And I am all alone. Cause I don't have no bank, no one to hold my hand. And I am all alone. Lost my way, I'm lost in my way. I can't really tell no more. You and me is all I see. Now you're gone away. I could never stay. Lost my way, I'm lost in my way. And I am all alone, standing on my own. Cause you don't love me. And I am all alone, alone. And I am all alone. Cause I don't have no one to hold my hand. And I am all alone. And I am
Yes, that was Alone with our guest today, Rawle. Definitely got some great songs, man. That was another nice, powerful song that I know a lot of people are going to be able to relate to.
Thank you. That's the mission. That's the goal.
That's the mission. That's the goal, man. Well, listen, man, we down to the last couple of minutes of the show, man, and I'm going to kick this one over to you again, man. Tell everybody where they can go get you, go reach you, contact you, get your music.
Definitely. You guys could find me on all social media platforms. It's Rawle Music. That's Rawle Music, all one word, on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. I'm on there as well. You can search up Alone has a music video. Broken Love has a music video. Check me out there.
Man, I'm definitely going to continue to play your music, man. I definitely like your spirit. I like your music, man, and I know it's going to be great things in store for you. And I want to invite you back, man. When you get your project finished, man, come on back and chop it up with us, man. And
thank you. I want a big thank you to you, Mr. Lamont Patterson. This was enjoyable for me. This was really great. You're so chill and cool. This is one of the best interviews I've done so far, so thank you. I'll definitely be back.
All right, man. We definitely appreciate you, man, and definitely come on back anytime. And for all our good old listeners out there, you know what I'd like to say. If you missed any of the show, it'll be available in its entirety worldwide. And if you have trouble, ask your mama, ask your daddy, ask the man across the street, ask the guy at the gas station or the people that work at the supermarkets. There's no reason, no excuse you got not to hear this show. And check out Rawle, and let him know that you heard it right here first, man. And we love you guys much, and we will see you next week, same time. But go check out Rawle. You won't be disappointed. Great music, and I put my stamp of approval. I approve this message. If Donald Trump can say that shit, I can say that shit too. I approve this message. So see y'all next week right here on I Am Indie. Peace.
Appreciate it. Take care.
All right. Take care.
Charlie Starr here, and I always listen to I Am Indie with your host, K. Diddy, on Blog Talk Radio every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Listen from your phone, 347-308-8747. Blog Talk, K. Diddy.
Pressure's rising. Down.